All right, guys, welcome to Women Entrepreneurs and Real Estate. Here we are today, coast to coast RIA. We're bringing it to you right now. This is all about women, solutions, and strategies. How to take women to the next level, because in the world that we live in, women are all around. Our host tonight is Candice DURAN with her special guest, Trish Hicks. All right, without further ado, here they are. Welcome. Oh, man, hold on. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
There you guys go. We are live
Thank
now.
you.
I wanted to welcome everybody real quick. I'm Pete Asmus. I'm the co-founder of Coast to Coast RIA. I'm only going to be on here for a little bit, but I wanted to intro the show because this is a really important show to me. I wanted to design something that really was a platform for women to be able to lift them up and for them to leverage. One of the people that has become a really close friend of mine besides Candice has also been Michelle Patterson, who is the CEO of the Women's Conference. And the reason that that's important is because the connections that she has and the platform that she has for women is extraordinary. And so we want to bring on important women, powerful women, women that are going to help take your life to the next level, because I think there's a lot of women out there that don't know which way to turn. They want to do something different. They want more out of their life, but there's a lot of obstacles that get put in our way. And so we wanted to create this as a platform for solutions, so that basically we're going to show you strategies, we're going to give you support, and we're going to give you solutions so that you can become successful. We're going to give you the 4 S's, all right? So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. I'm going to let you, Candice, introduce your party friend here that you guys have been just, man, before we even went live, you guys have no idea. It's like Trish has got a party going on. I want to go to Redlands right now. That's all I know, because over at her house, you've got like 3 or 4 cats. Everybody's jumping around. They're telling her to center herself. She's got like 5 staff rolling. It's absolutely crazy what she's got. She's a duck. That's what she is. She just looks like she's all mellow like this, right? But then she's like moving super fast underneath the water. So that's our guest, our host tonight. She's also involved in politics. And if you let her go on, she'll go on for another 10 minutes of all the rest of the things that she's involved in as a woman. Now, the reason that's important is that there are so many women out there that think they can't do something. They think that it's too hard, it's too this, it's too that he's putting me down, or she's putting me down, or they're putting me down, or they're getting in my way. And the reality is they get in all of our way. And these women right here have gone past those roadblocks. They've blown through them. And so I want them to come to you guys and start giving you guys solutions. Tonight, you're going to get actionable information. Remember I said that, actionable information, okay? We're all about AI here. So these 2 women, and if they don't, I don't know, never mind. I was going to say something funny, but then that might be sexist, right? And so now I'm on a show that I'm promoting that all of a sudden now I'm being sexist. That doesn't work out well. So I'm going to go ahead and stop. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Candice DURAN. I'm the host of the show. I'm here this week with my very good friend, Trish Hicks, who's amazing. She'll get to introduce herself in a minute. A little bit of background on myself. We own 2 corporations, one of which is White Ridge Development. We actually get to pick up, flip properties, wholesale properties, do the fun stuff. We also have a construction company by the name of Avatar Construction Services. So we can do pretty much anything. We work with major institutions such as Fannie Mae. I know we've been Freddie in the past, Wells Fargo, all the fun bank stuff, as well as private residential homes and investment homes. So with that, and being the mother of 5 kids, I want to go ahead and hand it over to Trish. Let her tell you a little bit about what she does, because she is amazing.
Thank you, Candice. I hope I can live up to this amazing status. Anyway, I'm a real estate broker. I own my own company, Patricia Hicks and Associates Realtors. It's a small company, just myself, my daughter, and I have one other person that works with me. And I am very involved in a lot of things. I have a passion for people. I have a passion for real estate, for working with buyers and sellers, representing investors. So I work all over the Inland Empire, and I'm happy to work with buyers and sellers. And my motto is, it has to be good for everybody. It can't just be good for the seller, the buyer. Everybody has to be happy in the transaction, and that's the motto I live by.
That's a good motto, but you actually are into some really cool stuff as well. You are a key realtor, right?
I am a key contact. I'm involved in politics. I'm what's called a key contact. Our California Association of Realtors appoints certain people to work with our senators and congressmen. And I am a key contact for Senator Mike Morrell. And I work very closely with him.
What does that mean that they you said that they promote or they pick somebody to talk to Mike Morrell, right? That's what you're saying, correct?
That's correct.
Or any government official. But what makes him want to talk to you? I guess that's my question. So they could say, yeah, like what if I choose Candice to go talk to all the government people? That's
right. I got this right here.
But if I don't have any power, they're not going to listen to us, right?
Okay. First of all, she's not a realtor, so she can't do it.
No.
Second of all, she has to be very active. Well, if she were a realtor, I'm sure she would do it. She has to be active politically. What the main thing our California Association of Realtors is looking for, they're looking for people, congressmen, assemblymen, senators, who have real estate needs in mind. And by saying real estate needs, I'm talking about private property rights. So private property rights are what we all need. It's not just realtors. So we as realtors are fighting for everybody's private property rights. And in so doing, we establish relationships with politicians so we can tell them when important bills come along how the realtors feel and why. And then hopefully they will side with us and vote the way the realtors want them to. So it's about relationships. It's about establishing a relationship with the senators, congressmen. That's basically what it's all about.
That's amazing. I think more kind of what I was going is how I get that you guys want them to listen to you, but what makes them listen to you? How do you get the FaceTime with that? Is it just the relationship that they've built over the years with that office, not the person, but the office? Does that make sense?
Yes, I see what you're saying. We start by establishing a relationship. We invite them to our Association of Realtors to speak. They go to the California Association of Realtors and they get political funds. We have our PAC, which we donate to. Right. So it's just kind of like building a relationship over a long period of time. And then you get to be friends. It's really a lot of fun because you get to be friends after all this is done.
Well, you know what you're doing is you're taking something that seems very far away for most people. Meaning, when we talk about government, when we talk about people, connecting with officials and making laws, it's like, come on, man, that's the PBS stuff. That's not real. Like you don't really get to affect and make a difference. And what you're saying right now is that that's not even true. That you're showing us how you brought what was up in the clouds down to street level. And you're saying, no, when you create relationships, it's just like you and your neighbor, right? You go and you talk to your neighbor, and if they're friends, you can persuade them to do something different. You're doing the exact same thing, but with politicians. I mean, right?
You're right. That's exactly what we're doing. It's so much fun, and it's so easy. It's just relationships. They told us, I was involved in a national election, and they told us that the biggest way to get people to vote for the person you want is to talk one-on-one to people. In other words,
all day.
They're not going to pay attention to the literature they get in the mail. If you tell them things, they'll maintain that and they'll pass it on. So yes, it really is about establishing a relationship.
And that goes back to building your network. I mean, she's out there every single day, all these women saying, we can't get where she is. And by the way, you have to ask her about her story. I met her and actually heard a fantastic story one night in the Redlands Country Club. So I have a new respect outside of the work world, which is why I was so excited to have her on. But she's got that personality, and it just goes to show you, any person in the world, and she happens, again, to be amazing.
Well, you have to ask her, not me, you. This is your hello.
You've been doing a great job.
So do you want me to tell all the gory details of my
Maybe just the highlights and how you got started, because I know everybody doesn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I think I'm going to be an agent today, and I think I'm going to start working with congressmen next month.
Okay.
So
I started at Security Pacific National Bank outside of high school. I couldn't go to college because we couldn't afford to, so I was a bank teller. And at the bank, I probably earned like nothing, but I worked my way up, and pretty soon, just by working hard, I knew every department in the branch. And then one day, the 12-men auditor team came after I was in the bank for about 3 years, and I was an operations officer. The 12 men came marching in with their briefcases, and so I went to the head auditor and said, how come there's only men there? Can't women be auditors? And he kind of shook his head and said, oh, well, nobody's ever applied.
What?
See, you got to get out there. Women don't know, so they just assume it's not in them.
First female auditor. Exactly. That's exactly right. You have to take a chance. If you just wait for things to happen, they're not going to happen. You have to take a chance.
You have a wicked delay on your end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, only you do, because Candice, I'm not seeing the delay out of it, and it's all of a sudden you come in like 3 seconds later, all excited. I was like, man, that was a good point, Candice. She's not even saying anything, and then you come in. It was funny, but that's if anybody listening, that's what's going on right now. We just have a slight delay, so it's like we're on CNN and she's in Kyiv, right? And so, or Tel Aviv, and so we're at least. We've got her. She may be in Tel Aviv, but we've got her, guys. And she's going to give us all the goods on what's happening. So don't get frustrated or freaked out. Okay. It's all good.
Okay. So then, do you want me to continue? Because I
do. You know why I want you to continue? I want you to continue because, oh, man, I want you to continue right now, Trish. For the most reason is because I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world.
Start throwing our hair around. We're just missing a pole in the background.
Well, yeah. She'll get it in about 3 seconds. All of a sudden, you'll see her dancing. So it's all good.
Okay. So then I got married, and I did not choose wisely when I got married because I came from a dysfunctional family, alcoholic family, and there was a lot of chaos all the time.
Right.
So obviously I chose someone who was dysfunctional. I mean, that's what you do, you know. And
you do what you know, right? It's so much. It's easier to get married.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's easier to get married when you know what you're familiar with.
That's right. I thought, well, you get married, you live happily ever after. Well, that didn't exactly happen, because even though I was in the marriage for 32 years, it was not a good marriage. We have 3 beautiful children, but it was not good. My ex-husband expected me to work very hard. He was driven to have a lot of material things, and I was the vehicle by which he obtained those things. So I worked harder and harder and harder, and he bought all kinds of things and ended up, he was a cheater. And well, you would think, why would a woman who was the supporter of her family be inclined to stay in an abusive relationship with a man like that? And I've asked myself that many times, and I think, if I, as a professional woman, stayed in a relationship, what about people that don't have the skills? Mm-hmm. What happens to them? It really makes you think.
That's why we're doing this show, by the way, because it's our job is to show those women that they're capable of doing exactly what you did, and that maybe next week they can be dealing with congressmen and assemblymen and look back one day and say, you know what, I came a long ways and I did it by myself.
Exactly. It is so, you have to believe in yourself. When I left him after 30 plus years, I was so scared. I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? You know, I'm like an older person. I've got all my friends.
You're not.
Yeah, I'm pretty old, Candice.
You're not. That excuse doesn't work on here.
Anyway, I did it. I took a chance, and I think that's what it's about, is taking a chance. You have to look and see what you want or what you think you can achieve, and you have to do it. People don't realize that you have to put yourself first. It sounds like you're being self-centered, But if you're not happy, you can't make anybody else happy. So the most important thing is to make yourself happy first.
That's right. That's why on the airplane, when it's going down, you're supposed to put your oxygen mask on first, and then the other person's, right? Because if you're not alive, how are you going to help anybody?
That's exactly right. And so people don't get that. They think they have to be slaves to other people. They have to work. They have to do everything that, but they don't. You have to be happy. Life is about being happy. We're meant to be happy. We're not meant to be here and be miserable and sad.
But it's hard because we as women mostly, and I know that it's true for some men as well, but I feel like as women we take things deeper, and we tend to try to fix everybody else's problems, and then our happiness comes last.
Exactly.
And that creates a problem when it's you and everybody's looking at you to carry the load, and you have nothing left to give anybody. When you're standing there saying, it's all my fault, and then you feel worse than ever. You take that time for yourself. I mean, that's a good place to start, and she's absolutely right. If you're not happy, and then again, it goes back to our steps that we keep going back over and over and over again. It's decide that you need to make the change. Then the second step is what? It's finding what makes you happy. If you can't figure out what makes you happy, then you're going to end up being a slave to your job forever. If you can find something that you enjoy doing, then it's a vacation every single day. I get frustrated, and she'll tell you the same thing. She's in the exact same industry that I am. But I come in here, there's some days where I'm beating my head up against a wall, and part of it's being a woman, and part of it's just daily problems. Yeah. But because I love what I do, I'm okay to kick their butts, turn around, walk away, and tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, that's true. Every day is an adventure. You don't know. You come into the office, you pick up the phone, you don't know who's going to be calling, you don't know what awaits you. It's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun.
Everything is different every day. That's one of the great things about what we do. And you know what? That actually brings us to a really, really important area, because I know you've been the president of the women's organization. Can you tell me how to get people involved that are maybe just wanting to become agents and don't know where to start? So maybe they were where you are.
Okay, that would be great. What they need to do, first of all, they need to make sure that this is really what they want to do.
Hey, Trish,
if they're in it,
real quick, can you turn off your camera and then turn it back on again, because you've been frozen for about 15 minutes. So it's like you're a picture, which is fine. But I'd rather
it's a pretty picture.
Yes, exactly. I'd rather it be a moving picture, one of those moving pictures. You know what I mean? They call them.
Okay, we're working on that right now.
All you got to do is just turn off your camera and then turn it back on again. And here's the cool part, guys. If you're listening to one of our podcasts, whether it's next week or next year, when you come on and you watch our shows live, you get to actually see the host. You get to see them interact. And I think that's a big piece to this, because a lot of times when you've got to realize, I just finished writing my second book, man. I'm so excited. It's getting edited right now. It's called Questions Are the Key to Unlocking Your Reality. And I talk about this one section. I talk about the fact that, look, communication, right? It's number one is going to be verbal, because verbally we talk to ourselves all the time. Can you hear yourself talk? All that kind of thing, right? But in addition to that, when we're talking to other people, it's not verbal that's as important as it is visual, right? All the nonverbal communication, you gather about 70% of your information from. The words are very, very irrelevant. Typically when you're when you're communicating with somebody. And so that's why I think it's really important that when you guys do hear this, that you guys make sure you're here every Friday live, 6 p.m. There's no reason. I mean, seriously, if you want to take your life to the next level, you need to be here, period. I mean, I don't get it. There is no, well, I want to go out and party. I want to go out and fun.
You need to be here.
Right.
Every Friday night. No excuses. And if you can't be here, make sure you're downloading us on iTunes. Make sure you're downloading us on YouTube. All
of that. But here's the thing. You should be able to be here, because we're only going to be on till like 7:30, right? You can still go out. I mean, I don't get it. Who's going out from 7 to 9? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is happening from 7 to 9?
Hey, you know what? You promised me dinner months and months ago. And if we were at dinner between 7 and 9, that'd be where I am.
Well, okay, so that'd be the only thing they should be eating and listening and watching here.
I get a pass.
Okay, so you guys know that. Make sure you share this with your friends. It's pretty awesome. We have 25 people on right now, so that's good. But we want to grow it. It's not just me, it's we. If you know women that this would be great for, tell them about it. If you know men that should be listening because they need to learn more about women, tell them about it. But this show is seriously designed to help the single woman. That's literally not the single woman. All the single ladies, to help the single mom is really what I'm talking about. We want to help the single mom, the mom who needs help, who needs money, who needs to create an income, who needs to create a life for herself. And she needs to do that with children and with having another full-time job.
But here's the thing. It's not just mom. There are absolutely a trillion women in this planet from all walks of life and all cultures, and they're infamous. And I heard it again today. I swear to God.
Are you exaggerating at all with the trillion comment?
No, maybe. Hopefully not, though.
I don't know if there's trillion people in the earth, but.
But here's the thing. I actually, honest to God, heard again today, I'm trapped. I'm stuck. I can't get out. I don't have any money. I don't know where else to go. And all I can tell this person is, it's got to come down to you. You have to make that decision that you deserve better, whether it's for your children or for yourselves. And if you don't have a child and maybe you're just not doing what you want to do, or maybe it's not even a bad relationship. Maybe you just, like we keep saying, want to go to the gym, or maybe take a trip to Paris and you keep making excuses of why you can't go.
Exactly.
There are things to do to change your life, and you just have to be brave enough to do it.
Because not everybody's in a bad situation, but most people are in a situation, in some situation that they want to change. They're in some sort of bad situation, right? Whether it be a man, whether it be a job, whether it be themselves. Because let's not forget how much we beat ourselves up. I mean, sometimes we're our worst critic.
Especially if you're a mom.
Right?
If you're a mom, it's a million times worse. Because then you have the guilt you feel for trying to keep the house going, the kids going. Heaven forbid that laundry doesn't get done. And that's when, I wish we could get Georgia back here and I could say, hey, the laundry room is definitely still over there. You don't like it? You want the laundry done tonight, honey? I'm tired. Go do it.
That's right.
So, or maybe, you know what? It's fine, too. You can always get an intern. They don't cost anything, and they earn credits towards college. Let them help around the house. There's a million ways to get help.
Trish, are you still there, too, by the way?
I think I'm still here. Can you see me again or not?
No, we can't see you, but I just wanted to make sure you weren't gone.
No, I'm here. I don't know why I'm frozen. We can't. It's showing up on this screen, but I don't know why.
Well, maybe it'll show up again on ours at some point.
But anyway, I was going to say, you need to make your needs known as well. You can't just assume people are going to know what you want. Especially men. Men don't always get it, but
they never get it.
Man,
we don't even pay attention. Look, you got to hit us in the face with a shovel that says
hey,
what you want.
I got to give Omar props for that. He is the best other half on the planet. If I have a bad day at work, he knows why, and he's the first person there to rub my back.
Because he's your partner. What do you mean he knows why? Of course he knows why, because he was standing right there when the guy lit you up, so he knows exactly what happened to you.
No. That was Christine earlier today.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Man, you're acting like he's some kind of like hypnotist or something, that he's got these special powers.
You know what? How many men at the end of our day actually take the time to ask their women?
Oh, no, that's true. That's true, 100%.
And actually look and say, honey, if you're tired, you had a worse day than I did, let me make dinner. He does that. If the kids need a bath and I'm exhausted,
you need to stop talking now.
I'll give them a bath.
I would say that's very rare.
Yes.
Most men.
I would say that she's lying. Shh. There's no point in saying any of these false truths. Don't get other people. Now you're going to make women think that they're going to expect. I don't know how to cook, man. You're killing me. You are killing me.
TV dinners. I'm good with them.
Peanut butter and jelly, baby. You want some peanut butter and jelly?
Hey, had it for lunch, okay?
Okay, let's bring Trish back on here now, even though she's having some technical difficulty. Trish, are you having fun, though? This is fun, right?
I'm having a good time.
Okay,
but
good.
You asked me a question about if women want to get into real estate, what should they do?
Yes.
And what they should do, first of all, is make sure that's what they really want to do, that they really want to be a realtor, and they're not just thinking, oh, the money would be good. When you get into this business, you have to want to help the buyers and the sellers, and everything else will follow. But we're kind of like, we're a nurturing breed. I just realized this recently. Realtors are like nurses. We have to take care of our people, and Candice, probably that happens to you too.
It is. I think what we do is an absolutely, well, I should say what it has is that element of humanity. If you can't form that technical bond with your client, then you're not going to be able to do them any kind of a good service. You're going to disservice them, actually. You're not going to be able to figure out what it is they need and then be able to deal with those needs. And you could have everything from a physical limitation to a mental one, and you still have to be able to handle it. So it's almost like we're psychologists, right?
Yes, we are. We really are. And so if somebody really feels that they want to help people and they feel this is their calling and they want to be a realtor, they should then go to, I would suggest going to a big company so they can get some training and experience. There's so many big companies. I wouldn't suggest Keller Williams because they're mostly people who are experienced. But I would say Century 21 is a good one.
Wait, hold on. What does that mean? What?
I was waiting for that.
I wouldn't suggest Keller Williams because they're experienced. But no, you want to learn.
I mean, is Keller. Okay, Pete. Keller Williams, the people that go there, they're not novices that don't know anything, generally speaking. They are experienced agents that go there and they work independently by themselves more.
Got it.
Okay, if you're a brand new agent, you need a lot of help.
Yes.
Because if you don't have any real estate experience, there's a lot to learn. So I always suggest when people come to me and say, what should I do? I always tell them to go to a bigger company that has good training programs. That's the most important thing. You can branch off after you're trained. You can branch off and do your own thing. You can be a broker and work for yourself. You can go to another company, but you have to get the training. That is so important.
Now, that brings up a great point. So if I go and get trained, how long do I have to stay there? Because that would seem weird for me that I'm a training place because they train for free, right?
They do, but they're getting their cut off of your sales. They're not training for free.
Oh, they get a different commission structure than for the...
Exactly.
I got you.
But you know what, at the same time, the fact that they're able to structure things differently is fantastic for women or men, for that matter, too, that want to get into this area. It's kind of a quicker way in without putting up more money up front. I mean, you're starting a new business because most of the time you are financially challenged. So this is another way to open up a door for you.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a good way to get your foot in the door. Mm-hmm. And then you can learn everything you have to learn about everything, and then you can decide if you really like it, if it works for you, if you want to go off on your own, if you want to stay there. There are a lot of choices that you can make once you're trained, but the training is so important. It really is important.
Well, it's, you should spend, I even looked up somewhere one time, it said you should spend as much as you do on your car payment on your personal improvement, whether that be seminars, whether that be education through training, through mentorships, through books, through, you know what I mean? But just the idea of that, and I mean, people would freak out if they had to spend $400 or $500 or $600 a month on training and improving themselves. But my question would be, what would you be like if you did that? If you put all that investment back into yourself? We so often...
Like Trish.
You would be like Trish. That's exactly what you would be like.
Thank you. But we have, Women's Council of Realtors. We are in the business to empower women. We give you training. For an example, if you were interested in being a city council member or getting into politics, we have all kinds of training programs for that.
What?
So it's really through our national...
I told you, Pete, they're awesome.
We really are. We have a lot of fun doing it.
I would definitely like to get hooked up with you. I would like to get you hooked up with Michelle as well, because I think that you guys would be really good. The California Women's Conference, it's going to be out here again, I think in 10 months or something like that. But what you're doing and some of the things you're offering to help people, I think that's insane, man. I really
Pete, I'd very much like to point out that there are men there as well. Every single time we're there are half of them are men lately. I'm very surprised there are so many men.
That's awesome.
Nationally, we have I think 17% of the membership are men. And we have a great referral network that's national. So if someone is in Florida and needs a realtor in California, they can go on the national website and find a realtor. They can look at the profile and get someone that suits their needs, that meets their needs. So it's really a good training tool. It really is. We do a lot of good. Plus, we have a lot of fun. I don't think you should do anything if you don't have fun doing it. I
I
think
agree.
life's too short.
They just had that, you know, the charity tea I told you about,
Yes.
Yeah.
the day of Brooke's birthday. That was hers.
Oh.
We were there that was her function, and I had such a great time. And they had this decked out fun tea party that was huge. So not only did they focus on education, but they focus on that camaraderie and building that team, and they give you the tools to do that. When you walk into a room full of agents and there's 200 of them sitting there, and then you also have other people there as well, appraisers. I'm obviously construction and investment based, so you get the full walk of life, and I think it's easier to bond under a social setting, and they do at least one fun thing a month.
So I got a question now. I wanna break out to you guys. So Trish, what are some of the challenges that you've had being a woman doing what you've done? Like, I want to hear some of the bad stuff that's happened.
Okay, some of the bad stuff that happened.
Because I want people to understand what you've gone through. Because we haven't talked about any of the obstacles that you've had to overcome or endure.
Okay.
Or unless, I'm sorry, maybe everything just happened for you super easy. Maybe that's what happened. Did everything
nothing
you just got
happens.
handed to you on a, the guy went over and said, hey, do you want to be an auditor? And then said, here you go, and just gave you a bunch of money, right? And there was no problems.
No. Nothing happened super easy. But I think, Pete, the thing that stands out most is I didn't sit back and say, well, I'm a woman, so I need special treatment. I was in a man's world and I knew it. So I did what I had to do business-wise. I didn't expect any privileges because I was a woman. I didn't cry if things didn't work out. I had a tenant once that couldn't pay the rent, and she was sitting at home not doing anything, not working, not doing anything, and I'm working to death, and I go over there to collect the rent, and she starts crying. And I said, you know, crying's not going to get it from me. I'm out here beating the bushes, working day and night. You need to get a job or do something to pay your rent. Right. So I think the biggest thing is that I knew I was in a man's world, so I worked hard. And believe me, I had some hard times when I was an auditor. The men, I mean, they could be brutal sometimes. But you just have to realize, not take anything personally. I think that would be a good way to put it.
Well, and you weren't a victim.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Exactly.
You weren't a victim. I mean, a victim sits there and cries. That's who's crying to you, is a victim. She's telling you how she's victimized by whatever it is that is in her mind. But what you did, you going out and beating bushes, that was not the idea of a mentality of a victim. That's the mentality of a survivor. Of I've got to go out and make it, man. You are not putting me down. Like, I don't care what happens. I'm coming out of here, scratching, crawling, beating somebody down, whatever it takes. But I'm not going to sit over there in the corner and cry and hope somebody else comes and saves me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really her mentality too. You should go to some of the functions that she's running. She could stop a room dead in 1 minute.
Well, I don't
She's
know.
pretty cool.
I don't know. But what you're saying is true. You have to take responsibility for your actions. And if you make a mistake, you have to admit it. But you can't always be blaming other people. That's one of my pet peeves. If you did it and you made a mistake, admit it. And go on.
Oh, you mean blame it, like saying it's not my fault, it was this person or this person, instead of owning up to it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what else? It makes it really hard too to get that reputation for having that good standing in whatever it is you're choosing to do if you're not able to accept any kind of responsibility for your decisions. How does anybody else learn to trust you or look up to you?
Oh, yeah.
If I walked up and I said, hey, you know what? I accidentally signed the wrong document. We have to redo it. Instead of going, hey, the escrow company did it, and now somebody thinks they did a bad job, and maybe they won't be used again in the future.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you really, by not standing up for yourself, you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting the people around you.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, for women out there who are thinking of becoming realtors or whatever, they're trying to improve themselves, but they may lack self-confidence, which is very common. I lacked self-confidence for a long time. If they feel that their speaking skills are lacking, Toastmasters is a wonderful place to go. It's very inexpensive, and you learn so much at Toastmasters. You really do. I would
And
encourage.
why do they learn? I mean, how is it? Because Toastmasters gets you to gain confidence. It gets you to gain relationships, connections. I mean, I'm saying all the things that it actually gets to do, but what is it? What is it for you?
Okay, for me, I used to always feel, and now I'm on so many boards. I mean, I'm bored crazy because I love volunteering. But it used to be that I always was afraid to speak up in public in like a board situation because I always thought that I wouldn't speak correctly. You know, I would say something wrong. I wouldn't, everybody would think I was stupid. And so I went to Toastmasters, and everybody there, they give you corrective criticism, and they're so nice. You don't feel that you're stupid. And you go through impromptu speaking, maybe a 2-minute impromptu speech. Then you write speeches that are maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes about a topic. You have a chance to write that, you know, for a week or two. And then you give your speech to the group, and they critique you. But it's in a kind way, and you get to be friends with the people. You make relationships, and you get to feel comfortable in your own skin speaking in public. And I think that is so important for women to do that.
I agree.
Man, that's awesome. I really I never really understood what Toastmasters was. And I think that would be something that would be incredible. Like even possibly me. I mean, I've been speaking for years, but it would be interesting to get up in front of people and speak and then get their feedback and not feel attacked. Like where I want to go, what? And you didn't really, and why is it that you didn't like that? You know what I mean? Because you feel it's personal, right? I mean, does that make sense?
Well, you tend to speak less too if you're feeling threatened. So like she's saying, if you're lacking that confidence, you have to start somewhere. And that place is a fantastic first stepping stone to having that presence that will stop the room like Trish does when she walks in. And I kid you not, when I sit there at things like her last heat, I'm watching all of these women. They're all going, you know, Mach 10, can't keep up with each other, just talking up a storm. She walks up, damn, that room's quiet in 5 minutes. And they focus on her. So how she carries herself demands that respect that a lot of women seek but can't seem to get their hand on.
I've got somebody that reached out and said that they're in a bad place and they need help, but they haven't really been specific about what we can do to help them. So let's just say that some of us really need help, especially myself, because I'm just starting out and I'm really in a bad spot right now. But that's the only comment that I got. So I don't know where else to go from that. So I'm just sharing it with you two so that maybe you guys can have a place to go from that.
Okay, you know what? I think if someone's in a really bad spot, this is just my own opinion, usually it's dealing with self-confidence, lack of self-confidence. That happened to me. And I met someone who gave me an affirmation right after my divorce, and I would say this affirmation 10 to 20 times a day. And this affirmation was, you're worthy, lovable, and enough. You're worthy, lovable, and enough. It doesn't sound like much, but someone who's lacking self-confidence, if they say that to themselves out loud 10 to 20 times a day, within 3 to 4 months, they're going to start believing it, and then they have the courage to take the steps they need to take to go from there. It's not going to happen overnight.
Man, that right there was pretty awesome. That's probably my favorite part of the night so far right there. That moment, because that was real. And that's what I'm looking to capture in these, is that moment right there. The information that you gave right there, Trish, I think was amazing. And that's things that people are looking for. Think about this. A lot of times when we want to give information out, we skim across the top. We skim at this 30,000-foot view. We need to come down to that street level again. And what you just did was give street cred. I mean, that was all about, I think that's funny that I just said that, but it's still true. Even as smart and funny as I think that I just was. But the reality is we need to give those type of... I think
you were smart and funny.
I know, I'm laughing.
we need to give those low hanging fruit ideas and concepts. And that was a great one. So let's talk more about those types of things. Let's talk about the fact that I'm a woman right now. I'm between 18 and 30. I'm in a relationship or I'm not. I'm not in a relationship. I just have responsibilities, but my life is in no way going the way I want it to go. how do I stop it from going the direction it is and shift and move in a new one? Because I'm freaking out and I'm scared.
You know, if you just start with something small, people feel overwhelmed. The thought of change is terrifying. For some people, it's debilitating. So if you just start with something small, make a small decision first. And that's the biggest thing too, is learning to make a decision. If you can't figure out how to make a decision, you're not going to get any further either. So make something small.
So let's say the goal program. You want to start with some small goals. You want to know how to find your map. Your map is your motivation, ambition, and passion. All right. It's an acronym I came up with in the book that I just wrote. Anyways, so you want to find your map. You write your goals, because your goals will give you the map. When you start writing down what you want out of life, for instance, here are a few of my goals that I wrote down last night, right? Community, help 10,000 people reach their goals in 2015. Everybody around us writes their goals and donates one day a month to local charity. Everybody Can Impact becomes a 501c3 and raises $10,000 for Children's Hospital. It gives kids a voice. I live on the beach in Dana Point next to Scott Travis. I'm happy and fulfilled living my dream. Questions Are the Key has been published in hardback and hit New York bestsellers in 1 week. These are just goals that I have, right? But if I don't write my goals as if they've already happened, if I don't write my goals as if I want them to happen, then nothing is going to happen. I don't have a map. I don't have any ambition. I don't have any passion. I don't have any motivation, right? I don't know where the hell I'm going. If I don't know where I'm going, how do I get any excitement about getting there?
You know what I thought was really interesting about that whole concept? When I started writing the 21-day challenge, I realized that some of the goals that I thought were goals weren't really goals. I figured out, I think, a lot about me. I learned a lot about me. And maybe I didn't want to go exactly where I thought I wanted to go. Maybe I wanted to shift this direction on this and maybe not do this over here. And it actually helped me quite a bit, especially when I was first trying to figure out certain areas of my own life.
Well, and I think it brings a great point. Women again, right? Going back to women, it took you like 5 days to start it or a week to start it because you were sitting there going, well, is this a good goal? Is this a good goal? Or is this a good goal? Is this a good, what are people going to think about me in this? And what are people going to think me about that? And oh my gosh, you were so concerned about everybody else. And
you think you're going to be judged. And that goes back to women and men, for that matter, is insecurity. So every person, I think, as a human being, always worries about what other people think.
Right.
So I would say that's a good step in changing too, is to stop listening to everybody around you. It's okay to get their feedback, but you really need to have faith in yourself, because at the end of the day, they aren't going to do that new job for you. They can't go to the gym for you. You have to do those things.
Well, that's right. And I'm going to give this back to Trish, but that it's such a great point when you say that, because if I go to the gym for you, Candice, guess what happens? I get in shape for you.
Eat bonbons and watch TV.
Yeah, I get in shape for you. If I eat healthy for you, I get in shape for you. I'm
okay with that. I'm okay with who I am.
No, I'm just saying that's the point, is that we have to do the work to get the reward. Personally, it's not about us doing. It's you can't do somebody else's work.
That's true.
Trish, go ahead. You're up.
But you've got some really big goals, but I think the women we're talking about, maybe the goals might be smaller, and it doesn't matter how small they are. Maybe they just need to make it through the day. Maybe, I mean, we don't know the circumstances people are in.
For sure.
So maybe their goal today is just to get through the day.
Or the hour.
And make it tomorrow. You know, you just have to take them one by one. Start slowly. Whatever your circumstances are.
Just decide what to have for breakfast.
Well, no, you got to realize I've been doing this for over a year. It's not like I started this yesterday. I'm sharing with you my goals to share with you guys the idea of, you know, a lot of times when I write them, or when I'm working with other people that are writing them, like for instance, Kenneth wrote, I sold 100 houses or something. I can't remember specifically what it was, but I helped him rewrite it as in it's already done. And I'm actually having a challenge with something that's way past that. Meaning, instead of I've sold 10 houses, I'm working on my 150th house today. Now that means I've not only done 10, but I've done 140 more. And it's getting past that initial shock of, is this even possible? And I want to get people into that, man, when I write my goals down every night, it is so fun to me because it's literally like I get to dream. I get to imagine. I get to make my life. And then it's even crazier when I look back and I'm actually writing the script to my life. Because when I look back on a year ago, my goal was to be on the radio 5 days a week live. And I wasn't even on the radio at that point. I wasn't anywhere near the radio. Didn't even
know who to talk to. Right?
And now I am. I'm on Bloomberg Radio 5 days a week. Now, that just shows you that it's not about how to get there. It's about what you want. It's the why. So, and Trish, I know that, man, we're all talking like a bunch of girls because I feel like I am one now too. Because I love talking with you guys. It's so
well, you're on
so
a great
awesome.
show.
I know, and I'm chatty. But so Trish, that's what I meant to say is I'm not trying to cut you off, so I'm going to let you go ahead and talk again. Or not.
Well, you know what? Actually, I was going to suggest, why don't, because I know that we're going to run out of time soon, so if it's okay with everybody, what I kind of like to do is go backwards a little bit. She gave some really good tips on where to start and where to go from there. So she obviously made a change in her life, because I want people to take note of her accomplishments. She decided to make a change in her life. She managed to make a spectacular change in her life. She's giving us the tools that maybe Century 21 or a different kind of a larger scale real estate office that can hold your hand is a good first step, and they can also give you the education you need. But where do they go from there?
Okay, from there, once they are trained and they feel they're competent, then they can go anywhere they want to go. They can get their broker's license and be a broker. They can go to a boutique company. They can go to a company that you're like totally self-employed. You just pay a desk fee. You really, the things you can do are unlimited at that point once you get the training.
You know everything that's, for the most part, available out there. Do you have a suggestion as to another route that women might want to take? So let's say they get their real estate agent license. You know that they could become a broker. They could work in auctions. They can take it, maybe even work with the Congress like you do. So what do you suggest for people that want to shoot for the top?
I would suggest that they are diligent. They, above all, they know their business. They know what they're doing. They understand it, and then they build relationships. They join Women's Council of Realtors, and we are empowering women, and they just have to start building relationships. Relationships are probably the key. They're so important with other realtors, with lenders, with not only clients, buyers and sellers, but just you have to kind of be a light in the community. Get involved. Get involved in charities. Get involved in politics. And you don't have to be bright to get involved in politics. All you have to do is read.
Stop it.
Read.
What are you saying? What do you mean you don't have to be bright to be in politics? Well, why would you say that? Don't tell people that are dumb to get into politics and want to rule the world.
Pete, you don't have to be that bright. You just have to follow what's going on. You have to read the bills, read what's going on in the world. It's
oh my gosh.
She's funny.
We're going to live in idiocracy. She's telling everybody, hey, if you're dumb, it's all good. Right. Go into politics. Look at our president, right? I mean, what? Oh,
oh my God.
No. I'm not saying politicians are not bright.
She's saying you don't have to have a degree of a rocket scientist to participate in any kind of congressional activity.
That I agree with. That's a great way to put that. Not and yeah, or that, or you don't have to be bright. I mean, either way. Either
hey, and if you can't balance a checkbook, you're made for it.
You can't balance a checkbook? Hold on. We got a fast track right to Congress for you.
You know what? I didn't even know. The next 10 bills, buddy. Right.
That's
there.
my bad. Come on in. Come on in. Here's the White House. Go ahead. You're going to be on the President's Council now. So we're all good there. This will be fun. Listen to this world.
You just have to keep up on current events. You have to know what's happening in the world, and that's easy. I mean, how difficult is that? You know, you listen to the news, you watch the news at night. We don't really have newspapers anymore, but you can get them online.
We don't have newspapers anymore. We totally don't either. That's funny.
You just have to be aware of the universe, of what's going on around you, and participate. And
Like
and you
LeBron,
have to
like
help,
LeBron not
try to
having
help people.
a place to go, right? We talked about that. LeBron needing a home for oh no, not no politics. Golly, that's right, politics.
Try to keep up.
Hold on,
See,
where's
just
Cesar
like a man,
Chavez?
short attention span.
Yes, I'm George Duke Megaden. Okay, so
Find a charity. Find a charity you like and get involved. Volunteer.
I like that. That's another thing.
So
what about this? Trish, what about if I'm not, I want to be in charities and stuff, but I haven't made it yet. So I can't get involved in a charity yet. I can't get involved in a charity until I made it, right?
Hey, you know what? Wait,
you don't have any time? You don't have any time to
it's not
work
even
with
time.
people?
Yeah, but then nobody's going to want to talk to me though, right? Because I haven't made it. I work at Taco Bell or I work at Walmart. So they're not going to want my help, right?
You know that church right next to Taco Bell? They actually need help on a regular basis. Or maybe a community center, or maybe you just walk into a daycare center and that child, who's a foster child that happens to be there that day, you get to spend the next 30 minutes, and I guarantee you'll laugh more than that child. But
I need so much. I don't have anything. I've got nothing to offer these people. I mean, I'm sad. I barely work. I mean, I've got nothing to offer them.
And that just means you have more time.
You have talents. You have talents. Mm-hmm. Everybody has some kind of a talent. We're all different, and we all have talents. So you do have something to offer them. Reading to the kids, whatever. I mean, just anything you can think of. These charitable.
And he likes Mr. Rogers.
I love I love that you guys said that, man, because I'm going to tell you right now. I used to think that. I literally did. I used to think that I couldn't give back, that I didn't know enough, that I didn't have enough, that I didn't this enough, and it was just an excuse. And so I want everybody out there to know that they can give back right now. They can go donate a day or a night at a homeless shelter and help feed the people coming through, the families coming through. You don't have time, but let me tell you, you go and do that and watch how grateful you are the next day for the life that you're living.
That's right. And it obviously is like one of the best driving forces in the world, because when you feel good about yourself,
oh man, you're unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be able to conquer the world so much faster. And you're going to learn too that those people's lives that you touch. I mean, look at the teachers, for example. How many kids come back after they graduate college and say, "Oh, hi, so and so. I was in your 6th grade class. You said this, and it changed my life."
Or Oscars, right? When they're winning an award and they're like, "My 4th grade teacher told me that I could do anything, and now here I am."
And the other thing is, when you're in a state of gratitude, you can't be depressed. So you're not going to be thinking about your own problems. You're going to be, you're helping someone. You're grateful for having the opportunity.
And is it easier to get angry when you're super grateful or when you're just normal?
I would say when you're just normal, it's easier to get angry.
Right? I mean, at the top of a hat. But when you're grateful, you're like, "Oh, who cares? You just got in front of me. That's okay. Give me a hug. I love you. I'll park your car for you." Right?
You know what's so funny to me is that when you look at society, and you made a very valid point, everybody's afraid that they don't have anything to offer to people around them.
That's right.
But the truth is, if you even made that attempt, I bet 9 times out of 10, you would discover that person you're talking to, whether it's a child, an adult, that person's had a life. And maybe they've done some really amazing things, and maybe they're going to teach you something. So maybe a veteran, maybe you help out there. Or maybe you go into a retirement home and just play checkers with somebody one day. Exactly. You'd be shocked at the stories and the things you learn.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do.
And basically, we're all the same. We have different levels, but we all have the same fears. We all have the same emotions. We're not really different. It's so easy to relate to people because of that. It really is.
Man, Trish, you're awesome. I gotta tell you, I'm really happy with who Candice brought to the table tonight. It's you are just an awesome lady. And here's a quick question, and I'll let Candice go back into what she was doing. But if somebody was interested and was like, "You know what, Trish is amazing," and I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to be the next employee that she has. Even if Trish says I don't want any, I'm going to make it so that she wants to talk to me because I'm that awesome. How would anybody get a hold of you?
They can call me. They can email me.
How would they do that, though?
I carry it with 24/7.
So what is that number? That's what I'm getting at.
They would dial.
There we go.
They would dial 909
Is your friend telling you?
645-0417. No, I know my own number.
Okay, I just didn't know. Look, she's giving me all kinds of tips.
She's not that challenged.
Okay, so go ahead and say your phone number one more time again for us.
She's coming back.
Yeah,
909.
I need to say it again. Come back here real quick. I'm just kidding.
You want her to say it?
No, I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Dude, I'm going to come over there and smack you. Stop.
I know. It's 909-645-0417. Or they can email me anytime at trishhicks1@aol.com. And that's Trish Hicks with one H. TRISHICKS1@aol.com. And I would be happy to talk or email to anybody who wants to talk about any of their life issues, because I've been everywhere and I really have a lot of life experience. And I'd be delighted to share it with anybody.
You are so awesome, man. And that's, you know, again, so to the girl who wrote in and made that comment right there, you now have somebody you can reach out to. And Candice has said this on every single webinar that we've done, that you guys can always reach out to her as well. And what's your contact information, Candice?
They could reach me anytime on my cell at 951-545-5382. And they can also reach me via email at Candice, CANDICE, at whiteridgedevelopment.com. Just like it sounds.
There you So Candice, that's not just how it sounds, but White Ridge Development, the longer part, that one's just it's exactly how it sounds, guys. Don't worry about it. Phonetically, just spell it out phonetically. You'll be fine. So we are having a great time. Let's go into something else here and kind of wrap up tonight. Let's talk about what are some solutions. Let's say I'm on track now and I'm doing well. I want to take my life up a notch. I'm ready to give more. What is some ways that a proficient woman in the business world can give back? How can she mentor? How can she do things for other people? Like what are some suggestions you guys have? Because I think that's really moving to the next level of you. It's when you start mentoring other people, right?
Right.
Yes, definitely. Yes. There are so many organizations you can join and be a part of that really need volunteers. I'm a member of the Bone Mares, which is a women's group that we take care of the children of foster children. We make sure they have birthday gifts every year. We have a golf tournament to raise funds for foster kids. There's the
I will promote that whenever you guys do that. Yeah. So you just let me know.
Bone Mares is really good. It really is. There's the Assistance League of Redlands. The Assistance League in Redlands, they have a shop and a dental lab, and they will provide dental and coverage for people who don't have it. They even have a medical facility. And you know, if you go to the Redlands thrift shop, it's on Colton Avenue. Those ladies give a lot of beautiful clothing to the thrift shop, and they are so affordable. So if there were people who needed a job and they didn't have a lot of clothing,
oh my God, that's a great idea.
I mean, I bought clothes there. You can't believe some of the things those women give to
because is there a difference between business attire and regular attire? I mean, there is, right?
There is a difference, and California has gotten so casual that now we call it business casual, because it's gotten pretty casual. But I would say business attire, you're not going to want to wear shorts and jeans and things like that. You still want to dress professionally. Don't you agree, Candice, that you want to look nice?
Honestly, it's kind of a selfish part for me because I love my stilettos. I'm a high heel girl, and that would look a little funny with shorts that are all cut off and trying to walk into a business meeting.
Exactly.
Wouldn't be helpful.
Yeah. But with the local thrift shops, there's no reason why somebody cannot dress and look professional, because that's almost, the costs are like so low. And then another thing is the Youth Hope. Was the club we used for our tea to donate. Youth Hope, there are over 3,000 homeless youth just in this area, just in this small area. They feed 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. at their location on Colton Avenue in Redlands. They always need volunteers to help feed. And
that is the greatest organization.
Yeah, and this is actually worldwide, but I mean, you know, there's only a few people in different countries, but this is more national if you were going to look at how we're downloaded this show. So when you're thinking nationally, there's not a lot of people maybe that live specifically in Redlands, but the great information that you're giving, anybody could apply to any city around them. So let's say I live in, you know, Vegas, right? How did you find out all of those places around you, Trish? So how would I find out all those places around me?
Just go online. You can just go online and look for like family services. They have a family services in every area. Or just go for homeless shelters. Just, you know, look up the keywords and you're going to find more places than you can even imagine.
You know what else you can try as well? If you have kids, ask the school district. There's always a million different groups that are associated with school districts. Churches as well. Families turn to church when they have nothing else, and they always welcome them with open arms. So that's
one of the things or start your own, because that's like one of the things that I wanted to do with the F3 project. I wanted to donate and give back to charities, but one of the charities I wanted to give back to was a charity that was focused on helping young entrepreneurs, but there wasn't anything around where I was talking about. So it's like now I'm looking at, Scott and I are looking at creating a project where 20% of everything that we make from now on, we're going to put into a company that funds young entrepreneurs. It's going to fund transitional housing, because Scott grew up in transitional housing. I grew up in a group home. So I really want to reach out to those kids. And it's like, we're going to start putting 20% into a fund so that we can start moving towards these actions and doing something about it. And instead of just saying we want to, we're going to start actually applying ourselves and making things happen. Transitional housing.
That's wonderful.
I really want to I want to fund young entrepreneurs. I want to fund people that want to start their own business, that have a business plan, that, you know what I mean? It's not just, I want to go start something and they don't have any idea, but like really working with them, because then, you know, oh man, it's just, I don't know. I just, that is my passion right there. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, that's very wise. And if I can ever be of assistance to you in that regard, I would be happy to, because that's a very good thing to do.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got one other thing that I'll tell you about real quick. In December, we have a project called Everybody Can Impact. And it's on everybodykanimpact.org. So anybody listening, you guys can all go out and check that out. And here's a cool thing. We're going to be doing this in Australia. Has already said that, yes, they're going to do it. So I'm looking for other countries as well as other cities all across the United States. We have about 4 cities that are going to do this with us as well. And this is what we're doing. My daughters came up with it, Haley and Madison. They're 5 and 6 years old. And what they've decided is it's going to be a 4-day event. It's going to be on the 1st December, the first Saturday in December. That day, they wanted to give back to homeless and feed the homeless. So on December 6th, we are going to go to a local homeless shelter. I think it's in Norco. It's a family shelter. And from, I think it's like 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock. I don't know. I'm just making up times right now, but like 10 to 6 or something. I want to go there and help them. Donate our time. We'll clean. We'll talk to the people. We'll interact with them, play games. We'll help feed them that night. And that's day 1. Day 2 will be the following Saturday. And because of Michelle Patterson, I'm hoping we're going to be able to go down to Wyland Studio in Laguna Beach. And we're going to watch a movie it's called Plastic Oceans that he made. And it's all about how we're screwing up the environment and what we can do to improve it. And then from there, we're going to go to like either San Diego San Diego SeaWorld, or like the Long Beach aquarium or something, and go and see, like, we just watched Plastic Oceans. Now let's see how that impacts us. And let's really meet the animals that we're destroying by acting the way that we are, by not recycling, by not doing this. And so really because again, if you want to, I think one of you said it, if you want to impact somebody, you've got to touch their heart, right? You've got to make them see how it impacts and affects them. And so if we can get them to connect with these animals and with these homeless people and everything else, we can get them to be grateful. We can get them to give back. And then the final thing will be day 3 and 4 will be on the following weekend. And Saturday is going to be a circus. Where we're going to paint the faces and do all kinds of things. And by the way, you don't know this, but my daughter has alopecia. So it's alopecia areata, totalis. She's completely bald, head to toe, no hair anywhere on her body.
She's so cute.
instead of looking at as a something that was bad, it's really kind of jettisoned everything that I'm doing, including this webinar, and why I care so much about empowering women now, because I don't want her life to be different. Well, it's going to be different, but I want it to be empowering and I want it to be great. And so, we started a cause, alopecia is awesome. Bald girls rock. There's so many other phrases that they say every single day in these morning videos and daily motivational videos that we do. And so day 3 is going to be a circus. And it's really geared around, children that either have cancer or some kind of something that's created them and made them bald. And so that's who she kind of identifies with, obviously. And then the next day, we're going to the hospital to give away presents. And so the reason I was saying that is because our goal is to raise $10,000 to buy presents for the local children's hospital. Well, I think probably part of that, she wants to give money to the kids with cancer too, so that we can help their families with medical expenses. And this is her idea. I mean, this is Haley's idea. And so it's a 4-day event, and that's what it's turned into. I'll let you go. I'm sorry. I know I dominated a lot of that. But
you know what? That is so good to get the children involved, because if children get involved, they do it later on in life. It's a habit. That's what happened to my kids. And
that's right.
Fabulous to do that. It really is.
So I would love you to be on that. I want to create it into a 501c3. So, and I read that out loud. And I think that, I need more board members too, which it sounds like you're on some boards. So maybe, maybe you'd be interested in that as well. I figure, you know what do you do? If you want to get something done, you go to a busy person, right? You go find somebody that's got too much to do, and then you get them involved, because then it'll get done. Candice is already on the board. She just doesn't know it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Hey, I'm down. I'm good. I got this.
So what do you guys, how do you guys want to wrap up tonight? How are you guys feeling? Did you have fun?
I had a good time.
Okay. How about you, Candice?
I always have fun. I love this show.
Okay, good. I love this show too. What would you guys like to leave as parting words?
I would like to leave the affirmation for everybody out there who is suffering from any kind of low self-esteem, and I think most of us do, just to write it down and say it 20 times a day. You're worthy, lovable, and enough. It's so
worthy,
powerful.
Lovable, and enough.
And enough.
I'm worthy, lovable, and enough.
That's
I'm worthy. I'll say it 20 times right now. I'm worthy, lovable, and enough. I can never have too much self-confidence. I'm worthy, lovable, and enough.
That's enough for you, Pete.
What? I know. You know what? Here's what I am. That's what I think. I think I'm number one, and I also love this. But here's something I want to leave you guys with, and then we'll talk to Candice.
Winning is not a sometime thing. It's an all the time thing. You don't win once in a while, and you don't do things right once in a while. You do them right
all the time. Winning is a habit. Man, I even know it down to the, like, you can't even tell that I even said anything. All right, Candice, what would you like to leave everybody with tonight?
I would just love to tell women over and over and over again to make that decision. And I say the same thing at the end of every show. Make the decision to change your life and take the steps that you need to take to get there, whether it's calling Trish, whether it's calling anybody else we've interviewed in the past. If you think that you might be able to inspire women moving forward, feel free to contact us the same way. We can't get enough help. The world needs to change, and this is a great place to get it to start.
That's right, because
baby, when they look up at the sky, we'll be shooting stars just passing by.
I'm just saying, I just want everybody to know that we're going to be shooting stars passing by, because that's how dope we are. We're like that. And I heard, I didn't want to bring this up, but I heard Trish before we came on. She was singing this song right here. This is the part that she was singing. I actually recorded her. I didn't know. I don't think she heard me there.
When we started from the bottom, now we're here.
I was like, what, Trish?
Started from the bottom, now my whole team.
Trish, you go, girl, man. It was crazy. I could not believe she knew that song. But yeah, she was just going off, telling everybody how she started from the bottom. Now she's here. She started from the bottom. Now her whole crew's here. It was nuts. So,
see, she's
guys,
always like that.
She is. Trish, one more time. What is your phone number and email?
Phone number 909-645-0417.
Okay.
Email.
You broke up.
How about we do that again without the breakup so that everybody's not going, what was the third and fifth number? I lost it.
909 645 0417.
And your
Email.
email. Yep.
trishhicks1@aol.com. That's TRISHICKS1@aol.com.
Beautiful. And for you, Candice, what's your contact info?
My cell number is 951-545-5382. And my email is Candice, CANDICE, @whiteridgedevelopment.com.
The way it sounds.
The way it sounds.
Yeah, just the way it sounds. White Ridge Development, the way it sounds. It's Candice at the @symbol, that @symbol that you know that's on the thing. It's the @symbol with the A in the middle of it, that thing. And then at Candice at White Ridge Development. But you just how it sounds phonetically. Spell it phonetically, you'll be fine. And here's the other thing I want to share.
Just call me something nice.
Guys, how many webinars have you been on where people actually gave you their cell phones? Their cell phone. Not a 800 number, not this, not that, but their actual cell phone number. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you need to be here every single Friday night.
This is how we roll. We hanging around singing out.
Everybody's on the radio. Come on, it's time to go party now, guys. You can cut loose, man. 7:15, time to go party. Woo! Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, Friday night, 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere. Without you, there is no us, because you put the Y in our success. Have a great night and go make something happen. Bye, you guys.